Okay, now I think you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I thought everybody I thought everybody could hear me. So, okay, in the future, if you guys cannot hear me, that's a problem, okay? So, sorry. Listen, technology is really, really hard, okay? Okay, so, all right, you know what? You guys didn't miss anything anyways, besides me rambling to myself. That was good practice for me just to sit there and talk to myself. Anyways, so right now what I'm looking at is the 5-minute ORB on ES 6945 is that level. We are trying to break through it. We have not quite successfully done it yet. Now over on NQ, we have 26,265 to 26,293. That's our ORB range. We do not have sellers, so I actually like an upside pop here. But the one risk that, again, and it's tough because the last 2 to 3 days, the VIX has been going up with the markets and honestly has not mattered. So, you know, I'm looking at VIX right now going on a pretty big run to the upside, but does it matter? I don't know. It's hard for me to want to fight the VIX trend when I know in historically it is something that I need to look at. So what we probably need to wait for here is this 26,265 to 26,293 range. That's the 5-minute ORB to break on NQ. Now again, like I was saying, but you guys couldn't hear me, even if we break through the 5-minute support of 26,265, we still have to worry about 26,223 to 26,248. That's the overnight range in support. And generally speaking, like I was saying, but you couldn't hear me, I don't like to long into overnight range, which is what I was talking about when we were at 26,298 to 26,294. I said that was not a good long or a good chase because generally speaking, you want to see the closure over it. So right now we're just kind of stuck. There's not a good general direction of where we're going. ES started out weaker, but is actually recovering stronger now. And now NQ is actually looking weaker. NQ, generally speaking, has been the leader, and NQ has been the one in charge. So I'm looking and putting more weight into the NQ trend. But right now, I'm just seeing a whole lot of nothing. One thing I was asking you guys that are watching and that did watch on Monday, I changed up my setup, as you guys can see a little bit, so you guys can still see my Ninja whenever I enter, and then you guys can see my TOS. I took it down where it's only NQ 5 and 15 minute, and then VIX and VX. Some people said when they were mobile and even on their desktop, they couldn't see the charts as well enough to be able to see the levels and whatnot, so I kind of try to zoom in a little bit more here. Let me know if you guys think that's better, if you like to be able to see the whole chart system, or if you think I still need to just get rid of the VIX and just zoom in on only NQ. Let me know what you guys think. I'm happy to adjust and make whatever, obviously, it makes it easiest for you guys because I can see what I need to see, but I would prefer you guys be able to see too. Okay, big 15-minute closure coming up here. Okay, so looking at ES, we actually did just break through 5-minute ORB. That's bullish. However, we stopped directly at 69.48. That's the supply from the overnight range. On NQ, we got a really nice bounce off 26,265. That's the 5-minute ORB support. We do have some buyers here. Now, granted, the buyers they're not great. They're essentially, like I was talking about on Monday, at that pre-market level, meaning that there's just not a whole lot of activity. So yes, there is some support there, but it's not necessarily what you want to see to take a confident long. So generally speaking on NQ, the odds of a 15-minute double top, and even on ES now, is actually pretty high. And we're kind of starting to see that play out right here. I do think there's a good chance NQ could go touch 26,289 first, but from there, likely we are going to try to make another run to break down and close under 26,265, that 5-minute ORB. But again, I just don't see... This is kind of the same tale as Monday. You know, it's just not good setup, not a whole lot of solid follow through and direction, which generally speaking, if the sellers aren't coming out heavy hitting and aggressive, that is pretty bullish. Probably means we're just going to keep trailing upward. But again, I got to stick to my guns. I got to stick to my plan. I got to take A+ plays only. And right now, I just don't see a good A+. So I wouldn't hate a long right here with that stop loss right at 26,265. I do think that we're going to get that pop to 26,290 that I was talking about. But again, are we going to close over 5-minute ORB resistance or not? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Jennifer, it is still going up. So that's, again, we're at a tough spot. I think someone put a stat up the other day. It's about an 80% correlation historically on ES and VIX, or really just the market on the VIX. So essentially saying that if VIX is going up, then market should be going down. It's about an 80% correlation, so that does mean about 20% of the time it's doing the opposite. So I personally, again, I struggle fighting the VIX because I know how strong it is. But here we go. So that was that rejection right there. We went up perfectly to 26,290 to the tick, touched it, and boom, rejected again. So that 15-minute double top is playing out. There actually is a decent short opportunity here. The biggest reason not to take the short opportunity is, one, we don't have sellers, and two, we have not closed under 26,265, which is the 5-minute ORB support. So I'm going to wait for this close. We got about a minute here. This would be a big close if the 5-minute can close under 26,265, and preferably NQ will close back under 69.45. That would pretty much confirm the failed breakout and that we're going to once again make a run to the downside. But of course, as I'm saying that, look at that bounce right off of 26,265 to the tick off ORB support. So that's where we're just stuck. We are literally stuck right here. There's no direction. The buyers, again, on NQ at least, are attempting to hold this up. They're just there. They're just there enough to be able to keep it from selling off pretty much. On ES, there's nothing. There's no buyers. There's no sellers. We're just sitting at like flat essentially on that side of participation. NQ 5-minute does have some pretty good buyers for the upside. So again, it's tough. There's no solid play here. The play is just wait and find out. I like the odds of the double top. I think the 15-minute double top off range resistance at 26,290 will hold. But again, my rules say I should wait for the closure over or under ORB. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be patient. I had a bit of a rough day on Monday, which is part of trading. I don't think I made necessarily any bad trades. It's just the market didn't play out how I was hoping it would, and that's part of trading. Fortunately, we're not going to win every day. If we did, then there would be no fun in it. So right now, I think we just wait. I don't see... I think the better choice, if you're going to have to play something right here, I would almost want to set a stop loss at like 26,260 and go long. But again, as you're seeing, we're rejecting so nicely to the upside. It's tough to say which way we're going to go here. I am going to mute and step out just for a second. Oh, look at that nice little pop there. So give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, we got that little pop, but look, you know, we're kind of rejecting. ES does look good to the upside here. We got the back test. I do think we're going to probably get our 5-minute closure over 26,294 and probably over 69.48 on ES. And that likely is going to start some upside move. Our buyers on NQ are starting to be aggressive now, so we're going to wait for the closure over 26,294, hopefully get some sort of small back test, and then we're going to try to take a long up to probably the 26,320 to 26,331 area. Yeah, Sean, that's a good point. The reason I watch VX and VIX, it's kind of out of habit now, but generally speaking, the VIX more correlates with ES, and VX has generally correlated more with NQ. So that is why I watch both. It kind of gives you a little bit more information on the future side of things, but maybe for the stream purposes, I definitely don't need to show both. I don't even know, honestly, if I need to show you guys the VIX, just because I can talk about it and tell you what it is doing also. So, you know, good feedback. We can kind of see as we continue to move forward here what you guys think is the best. I do think, I don't know, more I'm thinking about it, I do think you guys need to see the VIX, just because it does show a good picture. But yeah, definitely with the VX, Sean, it does show you good insight into both the future side and the VIX side, or the option side of things. So again, that's why I like to watch both. I think it's shows you some good information that you can miss. Maybe not right now in this market with the goofy trading and the goofy divergence, but certainly in the past it has given me some big insight that I would have missed otherwise. So we have 15 seconds to close here. 26,294. That is our level. ES is going for the push, 69.48. So we're going to watch. This is going to be a big one. We got 1 second. Nope. We just barely failed the breakout. So I expect this to reject and come back down to probably 26,275. It's potential this is going to just be the breakout, and we're going to now get our 5-minute closure, and the next 15-minute candle will be our big breakout. But as of right now, I am expecting a rejection, and this would not be an A+ long for me here. First reason is, one, VX and VIX are still uptrending. VX did get a rejection, so that does favor a little bit more upside. But two, we have not closed over our ORB resistance on NQ. And we also have not closed over our range resistance. So all those together really set up not a great A+ long opportunity as of right now. Making a nice move here, though. So, this is one of those tough ones where you're like, man, I really want to... Ooh, nice pop there. Where you really want to chase it, but again, it's just not my setup. I'm not saying that obviously wasn't going to break out. Continuation did look pretty good, but for me, I'm happy and content to wait. So this is going to be a really nice closure here. Hopefully, we are going to get the 5-minute close over this 26,294. We're hopefully going to get then a back test off of it, which should put our 8 EMA or 5 EMA on the 15-minute chart right about that level actually. So that would give us a nice back test to then go long. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I certainly don't want to chase this. Buyers are looking good now though on NQ for sure. They're really, really starting to come in here. VIX is still just kind of quietly pushing up though, so I don't love to see that, but I think for today at least, and as of right now, we can kind of ignore that. Yeah, I have 331 and then maybe 369 as the next upside level here if we get this breakout. I got 69.60 on ES if we get the breakout. Again, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait, wait for the pullback, wait for our entry. I don't see my entry just yet. I do think it's coming, but it's not there just yet. It would be wild, though, if this rejects all the way back down under 26,293. Okay, we got a minute to close here. That'll give us a new 5-minute candle, a new 15-minute candle, and likely will give us our long opportunity. I'm mostly watching that 15-minute candle. You can see how we kind of really are putting almost a cup and handle in. We got that rejection off 26,290. Now we're closing over it. So again, looking for the back test off 26,294, and then I'm going to try to take my long up to at least 26,320, maybe up to the 31 area. So that's going to be kind of my plan here. Let's see what we get. Again, it is ugly because VIX is up 3% and NQ is up 0.6%, so don't love seeing that, but it is what it is at this point. That's just the trend. Wow, we're already getting 320. Crazy. Whew, there she goes. Look at that. So yeah, based off what I'm seeing here in 15-minute, we are going to retest at least 26,300. That will be where I'm looking for my long opportunity. I do think 69.48 on ES will get retested too. I would like to get a 5-minute double bottom to play that long opportunity on NQ, but I'm not sure if they're going to give us a double bottom or if they're just going to wick bounce us. But as of right now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to wait. hopefully get my retest, and then we'll go along. So if you look over at ES, it's already playing out our 5 and 15-minute double top that I was just looking for. NQ is probably going to play it out here now too. Again, I think if you're longing right now, it's not a good play. It might go. It very well might go, but it's not my entry, that's for sure. Man, it's just running away though. Alright, there's another rejection. So, again, this is that ultimate FOMO. You don't want to miss the run, but man, when it's going like that, it looks so tempting to jump into it. If this 5-minute closes without a big retracement, though, all right, it's coming now. So we should get our entry here now. And this next 5-minute candle should bring us our entry for a long opportunity. I was gonna say though, if we don't get our retrace on this 5-minute NQ candle, likely this bottom of this 5-minute candle would be then our stop loss to go long. That would likely be enough strength that is just going to keep pumping. So here's 69.48. That's got retested on ES. It looks like it probably isn't even going to go down to 69.44. So again, I'm looking for that 26.294 to 26.300 area on NQ to then find our long opportunity. Okay, so there's 26.300, a nice back test. Waiting for our 5-minute close. Hopefully right at pretty much 26.300. And then again, I'm looking for a 5-minute double bottom to go long back for pretty much high day. I think we'll get up to 31, maybe up to 69 area. In the off chance it closes back under 26.90, then unfortunately, we are back to square one, and we will be back to being patient. So, if you guys remember, I said this is not my A+ setup, and it's the ultimate FOMO, and you got to be careful because you want to get that long, you want to get them points, but man, when it looks good like that, sometimes you got to just sit in your hands. So, I was close, thinking that we might just get that big strong pump off 26.320 and just keep going and going and going, but you know, when you have a strategy, you got to wait for the rules, you got to let it play out, and thankfully today our patience is paying out, and we did not get stopped out on the long there. So we're back under, unfortunately, on NQ, that 5-minute ORB support of 26.294. So now we got point of control sitting right about 26.280. We could touch that and then get a bounce. Again, generally speaking, I'm still bullish here. I still think the 5-minute double bottom's gonna play out here, but it's tough. You know, we had some really impressive buyers there on that run up to 26.320, but they just kind of failed. They just literally disappeared. So now we just wait. You know, it's either bounce off 5-minute 20 EMA support and point of control at 26,278, and we go right back to 26,320, or this is going to fail, and finally we're going to retest 26,265. I generally like the odds of the bounce to the upside, though. Of course, as I say that, it says we're actually going to go lower. $26,278, holding strong, holding good here.
Order submit. Order filled.
All right, I went ahead and took the long. I think it's the right play. I have my wrong stop loss set though. Hold on, or take profit rather set. So this puts us with our stop loss right about 26,270. That's under our 5-minute ORB support, or sorry, 5-minute point of control. It's under our 5-minute 20 EMA support. It'd be cool if it was below the 5-minute ORB at 26,265, but that'd be way too big of a stop loss here. But the 5-minute double bottom looks good. You know, this has been bullish. We have been pushing up. They have been buying the dip, so I'm content with this long. I think we might get the pop. And if we don't, you know what? It was a good play off support. So I'm happy with this entry here. And if it plays out, you know, I think the odds of touching 26,315 are pretty strong. The ideal 5-minute closure in 2 minutes here will be back over 26,293 and preferably back over 69.47 on ES. But if it doesn't happen, then we'll have to reassess and see if maybe we're going to get a short opportunity here.
Stop fill.
Alrighty, well they got our stop there, unfortunately. Man, our stop out there was actually to the tick the low of that 5-minute candle. So NQ is now about to lose its ORB again here. And this, 5-minute candle on NQ is actually establishing 26,293, the 5-minute ORB on NQ, as resistance. So it's starting to look better to the downside here. We'll see how this next 5-minute candle plays out. Again, we still have a big bounce off EMA support here. And man, if it would be really brutal if our stop loss I got stopped out at 26,269.75, and if you look, that's the to the tick low of the 15-minute candle. That would be very unfortunate if that happens to be the bounce spot. So, but it is what it is. So, you know, I like that long. I think that was a good opportunity. But the short is starting to look pretty good here now. Shannon, I'm glad it's helping you. Definitely appreciate everybody enjoying this. I thought about doing this for a while now. It's just a different setup, different kind of function and whatnot. So.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the short here. I'm going to set a little bit tighter of a stop loss. I do think we're going to get the downside move. I really need to change my bracket order because it's definitely not the right one. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is we did reject a potential move back to the upside here at 26,294. We actually did get a nice touch off 26,265. So the odds, again, are starting to look good that this is going to continue lower. If you look over at ES, it is continuing lower. It's now touching its previous overnight range and support of 69.38. So again, all good indicators that this is probably going to go lower. I will go ahead and give this the full stop loss, just in case it tries to touch it like 26,294 before it goes lower. So we got about a minute and a half close here. I would say anything under 26,293 is likely bearish, and we will probably retest 26,265 and probably down to 26,254. However, anything over 26,293 would be bullish. So unfortunately, my funded futures evals did just get stopped out there. They did unfortunately find themselves busted on the day here. And of course, as you look here, we're now making the push up. Big close here in about a minute. Looks like the bulls are impressively faking us up to the downside there. Man, what a fake out.
Stop filled.
All right, so I got stopped out there. I mean, I know this is obviously not how I want my stream to go, and I know it sucks for you guys to watch me just not perform here, but man, nothing I can do there. I mean, there's no buyers. There's zero reason this should have bounced to the upside. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. Alright, so we're down 800 on our funded here. We have found ourselves directly back in our 5-minute ORB range of 26,265 to 26,293. We never brought in sellers. So the odds here of potentially a 15-minute double bottom run back to 26,320 is pretty good here. I do think we'll probably make another move back down to 26,265, but honestly, I just don't trust the shorts. You know, just definitely getting blown out on shorts lately, even if it looks good. Okay, so it looks like here comes our retest lower. Again, I'm expecting maybe 26,265 to get touched again, but I don't think we're going to see downside continuation. Again, I'm still expecting a 15-minute double bottom. I'm just trying not to get blown out on a retrace lower before I enter that play.
Order filled.
All right, I went ahead and took the long. I like us holding this support here. I like the odds of the 15-minute double bottom. Of course, as I say that, it says, oh, we're going to actually go lower. So, you know, you got that. But we're holding support well enough here that I do like the odds of a bounce. We got about a minute till our 5-minute candle closes here. I do wish our stop loss was a little bit lower so that way we could be under 26,265, which is likely our bounce spot. But generally speaking, I do expect the EMA support here to hold. And I do expect that we're going to see a run back to likely 26,320 area here. Okay, good recovery there. We got 30 seconds to close. It would be nice if it closed over 26,293, but I'll take a green close. Okay, so we did not get back over 26,293, but we got our green close. Shows continuation to the upside. Likely 26,280 is now support. So again, I am still looking for the move to the upside here. So I'm happy with my long. I'm seeing the 15-minute double bottom play out. There's really no sellers, so there's really no reason to expect this to go any lower. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to err on the side of caution. We're going to move our stop loss up to 26 26,276, and we're going to add a second con because what we have here is that's actually the bottom of the 15-minute candle. So likely, if we break that, we're going to get a big drop to 26,265 anyways. And if we don't, we're likely going to get a big pop to the upside here. So I'm happy to add a con right here. This is a good spot to be in a long opportunity, I should say. So again, we would love, love, love to see a close over 26,293 and really over 69.45, and that should bring us back to 69.51 and 26,320. Okay, let's go ahead and move that stop right back up to the bottom there. Be careful. Be whatever you want to call it, risk off there. So we're right at the bottom. So we got about a 5-point stop out here if it goes against us. But with this breakthrough over 26,293 and over the 5-minute candle, we should see this continuation back to 26,320. And if you look over ES, it's also playing out the 15-minute double bottom. I'm seeing some buyers start to come in now, so I'm content in this long here. So let's see if this plays out. Let's see if we can get a nice little pop here. Again, I got about $200 of risk on this play, so if it goes against us, whatever, not a big deal. But this looks strong. This looks like the play that I was looking for. This is our double bottom. ES is playing it out now. Oh wow, we even got a VIX and VX rejection to the downside. So that all looks solid for the move to the upside here. So with two cons, I need about 20 points of profit to get back to break even on the day. Generally speaking, my goal for these funded is about 550 in profit. I'm just trying to get the minimum to get that 9K payout. So, you know, that puts me probably right about 30 points of profit that I want to see. But look at that, nice little rejection. Probably going to come stop us out. Just can't trust anything in this market.
Stop filled.
Well, 5-point stop out there. It is what it is. Again, I mean, I got nothing. I mean, you know, sometimes we go up, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But man, let's see what we got stopped out there. So yeah, they got us by about one tick there. So we'll see what we get our 5-minute close here is. Close here. Well, if you look at it, we actually did not close back over 69.44, and we did not close back over 26.293, which is our 5-minute ORB resistance. So it actually plays out that we could see another rejection back lower to 26.265 area. Now again, I don't see sellers, and I don't like to fight into EMA support, and the 15-minute double bottom off 15-minute EMA support is strong, and it looks like it's there. So it really, really is just a tough setup here. I almost like the short with the ORB on 15-minute and 5-minute rejection. And buyers are slowly trickling away still. But again, it's tough to short into EMA support and into point of control. If this breaks down, it's probably going to be a big breakdown. But it's certainly not the A+ play. And of course, as I'm looking at it, you know, saying that, it says, oh, we're going to buy the dip anyway. So there we go with that bounce again. NQ, I mean, it is trying to play out the recovery here. So yeah, I mean, this market is tough, you know. Like we went from basically just having pretty consistent bear traps where, you know, they set up these great downside moves, kind of like we saw, you know, a couple minutes ago on the 5-minute chart, where they set up these great moves. It looks so good. You got VIX pumping, you got some buyers breaking down, and then boom, out of nowhere, you just get a 20, 30-point pump that just knocks everybody out. But now, like we just saw there, we're getting bull traps too. So it's really tough here. It's tough to trust. It's really tough to trust any of this price action. You know, we have seen strong breakouts like, you know, we saw at 955. We had a huge breakout, and we really probably should have just retested support and then boom, broken out. But now it's setting us up where everybody's getting trapped. Nobody's winning. This is hard. This is really, really hard price action. Okay, we got 30 seconds here. 69.45 and 26.294. That is, or 20.93. That is the level. That is 5-minute levels. Keeping a close eye on that. Again, VIX is still pushing up. VIX up 3.2% today. While the market is still pushing green. So let's see where we get this close here in about 10 seconds. So we closed over ORB. So that brings out the opportunity. Ooh, we got a new demand too on NQ. So that does bring, again, a long opportunity. I would expect us likely to come back down to maybe 26.276 first. I don't think I like the idea of just playing the 5-minute bounce here, although it does look good. If we're playing the ORB breakout, 26.292 is your stop loss. So we're testing that level here, see if we break through it or not. I'm going to go ahead and take the long. We had our back test off point of control. We had our back test off the previous demand. Back test off ORB. We broke out. We should at least see a move up to 26,320 here. If we don't, then it is what it is. But I like the recovery. We still have buyers. I don't really see a reason to be short here. Let's go ahead and set a little bit of a tighter stop loss. We get about a 12-point stop loss there. Let's see if they can pump this for us here. We even have a rejection on VX and VIX, which oddly has not been a great sign of a long opportunity. It's actually been a sign of short opportunities. So we'll see how this plays out here. But again, it's a good setup. It's a good long opportunity. Well, it's not looking very good. Still holding 26,293 though, so that's strong. See if we can keep pushing here, but okay, well, we held 5-minute ORB. It looks like NQ 15-minute also looks like it wants to keep going. It's holding 15-minute 5 EMA support. So, again, the breakout to at least 320, it looks good. And that's all I can do. You know, I hate losing on stream for you guys. I feel like, you know, losing the Discord's one thing, but it just seems more, I don't know how to describe it, but it just seems different when you lose live. But, you know, it's part of trading. I mean, and you guys that's been around for years, you guys know that I'm just your average Joe out here trading, you know. This is just, I mean, yeah, it's my full-time job, but, you know, I'm not PW. I ain't going to be going out here throwing 600 cons down, trying to, you know, win whatever, millions of dollars and stuff, you know. I just trade. I support my family. You know, it lets me make my own schedule. It lets my wife stay home from work, and you know, kids and I get to have a fun life together, and we get to do what we want to do pretty much. So, you know, I'm cool with drawdown. I'm cool with losing every now and then. You know, September was a red month for me, but October I bounced back with a nice gain. It's not been the month I wanted to have, but it's been a good month. So, you know. You know, if you guys see me lose, you know, it sucks, and I hate to show you guys the wrong stuff, but it is what it is, you know. This is real. This is real trading. So if you're watching my stream, it's the real deal. It's not, you know, smoke and mirrors. This does look good though. So we got the breakout. We're over 5-minute ORB. We should again be looking for 320. We have some buyers. We got our new demand. ES is really the only thing kind of lagging a little bit, but it is what it is here. I really like the upside.
Order filled.
We're going to go a little heavier risk here. We're going to add a third con, but we got a break even stop, so it is what it is. So we need about the 30 area. We'll move that break even up just a little bit so we don't get whatever it's called, slippage. This is a great spot to be for this long entry though, because pretty much we're sitting right there. We're sitting right there at where it's either going to reject or this is going to keep going. So now we're probably going to come right back down to 26,293. So we just could not get the breakout. You know, we're just stuck. This market, it's just not going anywhere. You know, you got ES and NQ diverging now. You know, NQ is still trying to push up, but ES is not willing to push up with it. You know, there's just not a good trade. This is awful price action. I really probably couldn't think of any worse price action to be live trading with you guys with. So keep that in mind. So that's fun. We're doing this together. Shannon, yeah, it's possible we will flatten out into FOMOC. Generally speaking, though, we usually make a big move into like noon on FOMOC, and then we will retrace back to open before FOMOC happens. So I'm kind of surprised that we're so flat and so stuck here. I mean, really, since open, we've only moved about 30 points on NQ, and on ES we've moved about 12. So ES actually has a better move than we do on NQ here.
Order filled.
All right, we're taking the short. ES is starting to drop here. I like the short. We got a 10-point stop loss. Just over that 5-minute candle. Buyers are failing. VIX is moving up. ES is breaking support here, so might be right, might be wrong, but I like the rejection back down to at least 26,285. So ES actually got a little bit of a new low 5-minute there. So I think ES is going to come back down to 69.38, and likely NQ is going to again go back down to at least the 93, but most likely down to 85. We've been threatening to test 54 for a while now, and that is a potential possibility here too. The one nice thing I'll say about this tight price action is you can add risk without adding a big potential for loss. So like here, you know, right now I'm in 2 cons, which is a great, you know, return on risk for basically 4 points of risk. So it's either going to break down and it's going to be a big gain for me here, or we're going to get stopped out small. So we are testing 93 here. ES is going down to 38, it looks like. I like hopefully some continuation on a 15-minute double top here on NQ, but of course the bulls are just relentlessly buying this dip. Okay, looking good here. They didn't get back over that 5-minute candle resist or 5-minute candle top, so that's good. Again, now we're going to need that 5-minute close back under 26,293. I would really like to see a move back down to 26,265. Not sure we get it, but we'll see here. Okay, let's go ahead and lock a break even in here.
Order filled.
Okay, go ahead and lock in a 5-minute, or sorry, 5-point stop loss on this 15 here. I really need down to probably like the 65, I think. I don't know. I'm at break even unrealized if I was to close here. I'd like to hold this to the end of this candle here. This is our nice run here. I'd like to watch it play out, but this market sucks too. There's no continuation. We're bouncing right off critical support here. This is bounce or die. There she goes. Oh, I like to see that. Finally, you guys get to see what a real win looks like. All right, so I got a 15-point stop loss set here. I'm happy and content with that. I do think we're going to go a little bit lower. Hopefully I don't get stopped out first. But if we do, I don't really care because I need to get some profits back. Okay, there we go. I'm stopped out. Back to break even on the day. Good play, good execution. Good movement of the stop loss. I like it. I'm happy with that. That's a nice play. Could have added maybe my third con a little earlier, but it is what it is. Well, hey, at least you guys got to see one win, right? Can't win them all, but at least we got one. So, back to break even though, so kind of a clean slate here. We got a new supply on NQ at 26,298. So we're back under ORB support. Excuse me. We're back, under point of control. That's that 26,285 area. We're under the previous demand, actually, but the only thing that we got going here is we are just barely sitting on 15-minute 20 EMA support and 5-minute 50 EMA support. So there's a chance that they're going to buy this back up, as you can imagine, because they like to do that. But I will say we're finally bringing some sellers back in on ES. And NQ 5-minute, I just saw some poke out. So we might get a nice retest of 26,293 with a rejection that we can then short lower. Good touch, good rejection. Let's see if we're going to be able to break this lower here. Okay, I'm in. I'm short.
Order filled.
Okay, thankfully everybody filled. So, gonna just do one con here, back to risk off, or not risk off, but less risk. Likely 26,265 will get tested. That's our 5-minute ORB support. If we close under that, likely we're gonna see a really, really big drop. If we break through that, we're probably gonna test at least 26,254. In the chance that they bear trap me here and they buy this dip, then again, we're probably just stuck in some terrible chop. Look good. The downside does look good though. Got about 2 minutes to close. We want to see this candle close red. I don't love the I'm looking over and seeing ES with a little bit of a bounce here, but it might just play out that way. And ES is going to go up, get a rejection, and then push down with NQ. But I like the sellers. I'm a big fan of that for the short play that we're in here. And at the 15-minute on NQ here, we are now trying to reject the recovery. So again, everything points to some downside here. So I'm content holding my short. I think we're gonna see the win here. Okay, here she goes. She's starting to push down. Again, under 26,265 would be outstanding if we can get that close.
Order submitted. Order filled.
That's just some evals I'm throwing on right now. So if you hear me fill some orders, it's evals.
Order submitted.
Oop,
Order canceled. Order filled. Order filled.
Decided to go ahead and open back up some My Funded Future evals. So I'm going to go ahead and send them short.
Order filled.
I like the idea that we're going to get this breakdown here.
Order filled.
Okay, so here we go. Big close coming up here. We got 15 seconds. There's that 26,265. We're looking good. Oh, darn it. I shorted. Well, we'll let that play out. So I was trying to short my evals on NQ, and I actually shorted them on ES. So I got to do some mental math here. Okay, let's go ahead and move our break even real quick here. I'm just going to let this short play out there on... okay, nice play. I like this. This is good. Yeah, so that should be 10 points. Sorry, I'm trying to multi-manage. I think I need to close out here at 10 points on ES is what I'm thinking. We're just going to let those run over there on the other side. So big bounce here. So we did end up coming down. Sorry, I was trying to...
Stop fill.
Okay, I got stopped at pretty much break even there, I guess, but which is annoying, but it is what it is. So we did come down. We did touch 26,254. Honestly, if I wasn't managing my ES shorts there, I probably would have closed out a little differently there, but it's fine. What a bounce, though. Man. Well, that's the power of a stop loss, though. That's why we always use stop losses, because you just never know when they're going to bounce this thing like crazy. So I did end up getting 5 points there on NQ, so I am technically up about $100 on the day. Well, about 20 bucks on the day on my account. So I am green, so that's cool. See if we can maybe find another another short here. We do have sellers still. We're getting a nice back test off the ORB resistance here, and we're getting a nice back test off the EMA resistance here. So again, I do actually think this is going to probably reject and push right back down. They might make us wait for a 5-minute double top to play off the EMAs here, but again, I'm looking for another rejection for a short here. I'm going to go ahead and take
Order
it.
filled.
So I am short again. I do think we're going to come right back down to 26,248 here. So happy with my short. See how we play this out here. Okay, we got 23 seconds till close. I would like to see it close back under 26,265, but generally speaking, I still think we're going to get the double top here on the 5-minute and then push back down. Gotta love that as soon as the market starts going lower, VIX actually and VX are both going lower too. So that's always fun to see. Yeah, VV, I remember. We don't talk about that though.
Order filled.
Okay, I'm back in, or I'm not back in, but I'm still in, I should say. I like the downside here a lot. I have about a 10-point stop loss set on this play, 2 cons. I'm looking for a good, sizable rejection lower here. I'm going to try to snipe about 20 points here if we can. Bounce or die time, pretty much here. If this bounces and if we recover and close this 15-minute candle green, then man, we're going to be in just disgusting chop probably until FOMOC. If they can take this and close this 5-minute back under, preferably 26,260 and 69.36 area, likely we will maybe slow bleed down to kind of yesterday's close area, around 26,200 and about 69.25 area. We still got sellers though, so again, the rejection looks good here. You're going to hear some order fills. That's because I'm going to flop my ES plays over to NQ here on my evals only.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled.
Making nice progress here though, that's for sure.
Order filled.
I like to see that.
Order filled.
Good move. See if we can play it out completely here.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, I think I got all my guys changed over, so. Okay. I'm trying to tag 247 here. So I think that's a reasonable, not only 800-point day for me, or $800 day, choose a 800-point day would be amazing, but $800 day for me, but that's also overnight range and support, so that's a likely spot to get retested here. So we did close back under 5-minute ORB support here. That's at 26,266. We are looking good to go lower. They might, unfortunately, double bottom this and push it back all the way to 26,277. But I do like the downside, so I'm content holding here. I think we're going to just get a nice flush to 26,247 here. Really, 26,275 is our 15-minute 25 and 20 EMA, and Porta Controls at 280, so that's a good rejection zone here. They might come back up and get our stop loss here, unfortunately, but we'll see. I'm gonna hold. I do like to play, so. You might be right though, VV, if you're still listening, that was the drop before they send that big old bounce like they did yesterday. I hope not, but we'll see.
Stop filled.
And they got me. ES is looking convincingly more like an upside move is coming now, though. And this is now a failure of the 15-minute ORB support at 26,254 to break. So it does open up some upside opportunity here, actually. Nice wick rejection, though. Fortunately, I stopped this out by about 2 ticks there. I'll bite. I'll take another
Order
short.
filled.
Well, that was a great rejection. That was a beautiful bull trap. Impressive. Now let's see if we can break through this critical 26,254 here. Man, they really came up and swept our stop loss and said, JK, let's go lower. We got sellers back under ORB support, testing 15-minute ORB support, ES back under ORB support. I like the downside, but you know what they like to do when we like the downside. We'll go ahead and hold the 10-point stop loss here for now. I think they're going to come up, touch 26,265, and then we're going to see a push lower. Here's our back test off ORB. See if we got our rejection lower or not. 26,254. That's our level. We gotta break through that. We got 8 minutes to do it. And preferably not get stopped out before it does. VIX is, or not VIX, I'm sorry, ES is trying to look bullish here. Trying. It's a interesting move right now. And like I said earlier, it was wild because we were pushing up with VIX, and now guess who's pushing down while we try to push down? VIX. So it just does not quite make sense. Today's been a battle, though. You know, we were down about, I think, 12 to 1,500 max. We got up to back to break even. I'm sitting down, realized about 400. If this play plays out, we'll hit our daily goal. If we get stopped out again here, we'll be down about $800 again. So, you know, definitely been a battle. We had a big battle Monday, too. And that one we did not win, but I'm feeling good today, much better right now, that we might be able to win this one. So let's see what this plays out here. I don't see a reason to close my short yet. I'm liking the back test off 26,265 and rejection. We're trying to push lower. I do think we're going to go test maybe overnight range support. That would be that 26,223 to 26,234 area. That is already been tested by ES, which is basically 69.32. So I would expect ES also to go down to that level to be retested. Okay, 30 seconds to close. Again, preferably under 26,265 here. Should see lower continuation, but we'll see what we get here. I think at least 26,247 will be tested again. But then that gives us 5 minutes left for our 15-minute closure to close under 26,254, which is that 15-minute ORB, and that really would be a good breakdown sign. And that would be that 69.36 level over on ES. Okay, so we got our 5-minute closure under it. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to mute it. I have a phone call. Give me 1 second. Okay, nice short playing out here. So I set, as you saw, I went break even. Now I'm up, setting a 10-point break even, stop loss. I'm up about 300 realized right now. We are getting 47. I think 23 and 34 are going to touch here. I'm looking for a little bit more downside to get my daily goal here. ES is starting to play along. It looks good. I don't see a reason to close right now, so I'm gonna hold. My MQ my funny future shorts on my evals are looking good too. Those all need about 35 to pass. So. Whoa. Sorry, I hit a button and it did something weird. Don't like that. Okay, so I like the short. We're about to get our 15-minute close below not only 47, but also below 54, which is our 15-minute ORB support. Jesus. Pretty much we are sitting... Sorry. There we go. My fucking chair got stuck. We're sitting pretty good here. I like the downside. Our 10-point stop loss will pretty much put us back at break even on the day. There's the break even. Back at break even. I'll take it. It's not my profit, but hey, I'll take a break even on the day for sure. So, again, just this continuation sucks. I just wish we could just get like a nice 40-point candle. I mean, it's just so annoying that it's 5 points up, 20 points down, 30 points up, all over the place. It's just, it's impossible to trade this sometimes. But good play. We got a good short there, so let's see what we get next here. We got 30 seconds till close. 54 is our level to watch. So 26,265 will likely be our spot to look for a rejection. We did not get a new demand. We are basically just at ORB 5-minute or 15-minute on NQ. We're still under 5-minute. I like the downside here. I do think we could test 26,260 first. We do have sellers still, so this is not a bad short opportunity right here actually. To chase down. So let's go ahead and chase it, why not? It looks good. I think we're gonna get it. Definitely not the fill I wanted there. I got a bad fill there. I snoozed that. I should have been at like 26,250, but I like the short here. Again, 26,223. It looks probable to touch. 69.32 on ES looks probable to touch. We're coming into profit on my eval here. So 235 is my eval pass for day 2, or day 1 I mean, of my funded futures. Man, we're so close, we just couldn't get there. I'm going to go ahead and set some break-evens on those, though. And then I'm still in my short for my actual funded accounts here. It's crazy though that, you know, I know we're at all-time highs and volatility is in theory lower, but it really isn't with VIX at 16 to 17. You know, we should be having a pretty decent range. You know, we should have, I would say, more like a 1% range. And you know, right now when you look at ES, we're at 27.5 total points since open last night of movement. That's only 36% of the 10-day average. And we look at NQ, we're at 162 points of range, which is 42% of the 10-day average. And so, you know, it's tough because we're not getting good movement. Big bounce here, big bounce. ES looks pretty bullish, I ain't gonna lie. Pretty much pump or die here on NQ. We're just sitting right at my stop loss, basically. My evals got stopped out at break even, so I'm just letting those kind of sit.
Stop, Phil.
Okay, I got stopped out there. Well, this is a nice recovery on the 15-minute chart here now. So this starts to open up the opportunity for further upside, actually, because we are double bottoming off 26,255, the ORB for 15 minute. We just took back 5-minute ORB here at 26,265. So give me a little rejection, maybe down to 26,260 with a bounce, and we actually might have a nice long opportunity here. Sellers kind of disappeared too, so I do think we're going to get a little rejection off 26,272. That's the 5 and 20-minute ORB, or sorry, EMA, and also probably off the 15-minute 20 EMA there. But once we get a little dip here at probably 26,260, again, like I said, I might look for a long opportunity here. Probably back to at least 26,285. Alright, I took the long here. I'm looking for the recovery. It looks pretty good. We will move our stop loss up here in just a second here. Got to get a little bit more of a breakout here, but should be able to probably put our stop loss really at like 26,260. We could have a pretty tight stop loss here. If this goes, it's going to go pretty good. Let's go ahead and do that.
Order filled.
Time to pump or die here. I do think we're going to get back to probably 26,293 area, maybe even up to 26,298. We're going to sneak a break even in here. I'm probably going to get tossed, but I'm going to step out just for one. Okay, I'm back here. Yeah, looks like we're gonna. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna get rejection here. We did recovery though, so we probably are gonna bounce again. I'm probably gonna see a continuation to the upside here, but a little heavy there, trying to make a little bit back here. So we'll see where we go here. Man, VIX is straight dying now, though.
Order filled.
Okay, I took the long. I think we're going to get the breakout here.
Stop filled.
Oh, or not. Okay, that's cool too. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off stream. I am starving. And it's a little bit later than I usually even trade, honestly, but the market's just not been giving us a whole lot. So hope you guys enjoyed today. Just kind of tough trading, you know. Once again, it is what it is. Not much we can do, unfortunately. So, but I'll see you guys probably next week. I'll try to do another stream. I'll be gone on Friday. So, but yeah, I'll see you guys later.